Several young women who testified in the Timothy Omotoso trial are expected to break their silence weeks after the televangelist's shock acquittal. This follows the announcement by 3 Chapter 9 institutions of an upcoming inquiry into the court's controversial verdict. For more on this now, we cross over to our reporter Chriselda Lewis, who is live for us in Braamfontein. Good afternoon, Chriselda.
Well, Juliet, good afternoon to you. Indeed, some of those witnesses who took the stand in the Timothy Omotoso trial broke their silence this morning and basically lamenting the outcome of that particular trial. You know that Timothy Omotoso, together with his 2 co-accused, were found not guilty. There's been widespread condemnation from several quarters around the country, including the Justice Minister calling for answers on exactly what happened in that particular matter. You'd recall quite scathing the presiding judge in that particular trial, basically in her ruling, talking about, if I could, for lack of a better word, the shoddy work that was done by prosecutors in that particular case. And this morning, some of those witnesses held a press conference addressing the media, also, penning a letter to Timothy Omotoso, who is now a free man. These women say they've endured years of pain, but their souls have not been broken. I want to bring in those 3 brave women who addressed the media here today, together with some of the other ladies who joined us here, and it's Penny Msibi, Cheryl Zondi, as well as Sarah Mofokeng. Ladies, thank you so much. We really do appreciate you taking time to speak to us once again. I want to start, with you, Penny. You were very emotional. Just reading that statement today. You were on the stand about 6 times.
Yes.
How did that feel for you? Because that was the first time that you faced Timothy Omotoso.
It was a roller coaster of feelings. It was a lot of feelings at once. Because before the day of actually facing him for the first time, I had a lot of breakdowns, before even facing him for the first time. I felt like it took me back to the timid, young and scared girl that he molested before I had to bring myself to a fact that I had grown, because I had to, counsel myself and tell myself that I do not like what that man did to me, and I know that he's out there still doing the same thing, and he's still going to do the same thing to other girls. I had told myself that it's okay, it has happened to me, and that cannot be taken away from me, but let it not go on, let it not go on to our children, to our sisters, to, other people as well. So, and then when I got to a stand here, having to face him again was another story, but at the same time, again, I had to bring it to myself to say, you know what, this man feels no remorse, because he was still doing the same thing. I had to be like, enough is enough, and I'm willing to put my life in the line for that. And I would love to see change, and I had to be courageous, and I did my best to be that.
Today seemed to have been a moment that perhaps brought it all together for you.
Very much.
Reading that letter on behalf
of the girls.
Of the girls.
Yeah, today
you were incredibly emotional today.
Today was a mixture of everything. Today was everything. It was anger because of the verdict. It was disappointment, but at the same time, it's also determination that we are not backing down. We are willing. We are still very much willing to, voice out even louder this time.
Yeah. Cheryl, you spent some time on the stand as well, I think about 6 days. And I recall after that verdict was handed down, You sobbed. You cried. Take me through that 6 days, just in brief, because obviously this is incredibly difficult for all of you. And what you felt on that day when you heard that not guilty verdict.
So going through the 6 days for me was split in half. I think I spent about 4 days the first time I took the stand, and then I had to come back. How many years later was it? So the first time I took the stand was 2018, and then I had to come back in 2023, and that was over the course of 2 days, so 6 days altogether. Very different experiences with each part. The first time round, obviously seeing him again for the first time. On my end, I just remember, feeling anger and just disgust. And honestly, for the first time, maybe seeing him as just a guy, a criminal, and nothing like what he had portrayed himself to be all these years. And the process itself was very, very difficult. I went into it, I think all of us went into it not knowing what to expect really, and just how vicious it was going to be. But we pulled through, and I don't know, I was speaking to the chair of the Civil Rights Commission before we heard the verdict, and we were talking about how, maybe within the first 20-30 minutes we'll know what direction the judge is taking. We did have hope going into the courtroom, right? Because we felt that we had done enough, just because maybe on our end we had given our all. We had given everything that we had to offer as the witnesses. So we felt that was enough on our end. And then just to hear those words, not guilty, yeah, I think I was in a bit of a haze. Disbelief, shock. But the judge did a good job in explaining why she went in the direction that she went in. So that was all mixed with anger now at the system and the people that we entrusted, our stories to defend us and prove our case after we gave them everything they needed to secure a conviction. And somehow they still managed to fail. So that was heartbreaking. And just, seeing the reaction of the congregants, because now this reinforces their belief in him. It reinforces his delusion that, he's God's favorite son or whatever. Reinforces their belief that they can do just about anything and get away with it. And maybe this is how I feel, is that it's going to embolden him. I'm really scared. We're all really scared for those girls. Yeah.
And yourself, Sarah, you spent about 3 days on the stand. How do you feel now? What emotions run through you now?
Yeah, it's a roller coaster of emotions, because I was watching the judgment on YouTube, and I kept on reading the comments on how others were like, these girls deserved it. Others were like, why is he not found guilty? So it was a mixture of emotions. It's still a mixture of emotions, but like Sherelle is saying, the judge did really go into detail as to why she took the decision that she did. And knowing that you gave it your all, having to step into that courtroom, and now it seems as though it's all for nothing. But like I said earlier, he might think he has won, but he actually hasn't. He will never win. And if the law cannot take its course, may the justice being life have its way with him. Honestly, there's nothing else to say. We did our best. We know that we did our best. It's entirely up to God now to do the rest for us.
Sarah, you read that letter, and maybe on behalf of all of the ladies and even others that are not here, Timothy Omotoso is a free man. You read a letter to him. If he would be watching right now, what would you say on behalf of all of these ladies?
Yeah, Sarah is the one that wrote the letter.
The letter was literally a brief of how we all feel towards him. But I think to the ladies, I spoke to them yesterday. I think if anything, they should know that by speaking out and by coming out, that was their moment of taking their power back. There's nothing in us, nothing around us, nothing in our lives that will get him to say he defines us or he's a part of our lives in any way. We have set ourselves free the moment we broke the silence, and going forward, we carry our pain, but with our pain, we carry strength also. So,
Perhaps, Penny, you would want to say something.
Yeah, just to add on what Sarah just said, we say it again. We kept him away for 8 years. And all of those that know the caliber of that man, he was inevitable, according to him. Nobody could get through to him. We are here. We kept him away for a good 8 years. We had started this, and we know that something is going to give eventually. Wherever he is, he knows that now he's got his mates. We've done something that nobody thought that anyone could do to him. So we walk away with that.
Ladies, thank you very much. I know that we've had to keep this incredibly short because I cannot imagine what it feels like to keep speaking about this over and over again. So, Sarah Mofokeng, Cheryl Zondi, as well as you, Penny. CB, thank you very much for speaking to us. Those just three of the witnesses that took the stand in the Timothy Omotoso trial. They say while they believe justice has not been done at all for the pain they've had to endure, they're also pinning their hopes on, you'd recall, just a couple of days ago, the CRL Commission, together with the Commission for Gender Equality, as well as human rights, are basically taking this step further. They want now an inquiry into the outcome of what happened at that particular trial. We know that Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Justice as well was asking the National Prosecuting Authority for a detailed explanation of how this particular case was handled. That's where we'll leave it for now, live from Braamfontein in Johannesburg.
Thanks very much, Chriselda Lewis, chatting to those three women. A very moving interview.